Hey, welcome to 2 Cents, everybody. This is the week ending November 15th. It's been a pretty sad week, some bad things. We're going to try to avoid talking about those as much as we can. I'm Brian Gillis, and I'm here with my co host, Steve,
Hello, everybody.
who, ironically enough, is pretty close to France right now.
Not for that reason, but anyway, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Just trying to move on.
Well, let's begin talking about death. Pretty sad. Daniel Fleetwood, Force for Daniel fame, passed away
Yeah,
Tuesday morning.
yeah, and I mean, it's good that he saw the movie in
I know,
time.
right? Like he got it like 4 days before passing. I'm sure it was like real, unless it sucked. It was like real vivid in his memory. Can you imagine? Like we kind of talked about this last week, but imagine if it was god awful and like until he died, he couldn't tell anyone. He was just like, "Fuck you, JJ."
That would suck then, man. Like, I don't think it's gonna be bad. Everything,
It's less than a month away
I'm sure he
now.
was happy. Like
It's a month
everything that
away.
we've been hearing, even from people that have worked on it. Like Harrison Ford supposedly has been happy on set. That's a rare thing. So, it seems like it's gonna be enjoyable at least.
This is kind of our Star
Yeah, but
Wars section of the show, anyway. We're
all
just
right, good. Yeah,
like a
no,
couple other
no
things.
Star Wars for this week, please.
Well,
Oh,
I
come
mean,
on.
no, this is news. Like,
All
apparently
right.
Lawrence Kasdan, who has been working on Star Wars since Empire Strikes Back, co-wrote that with George Lucas, and also Return of the Jedi, and like consulted on not just these new movies but also the prequel trilogy. He claims that
Was he involved in the
I believe
prequels?
so, like not in a writing capacity, but I'm sure he might have helped out. Who knows? But he definitely did with JJ and whoever else, Ryan Johnson, on these new movies. But he says that he's done working a galaxy far, far away after the Solo Han Solo movie. Last thing about Star Wars, just a tidbit. It's not even about Star Wars directly. X-Men Apocalypse, the trailer's gonna be attached to the Star Wars showings, so that's a lot of people that are gonna be seeing that trailer.
I wanted to say that I wasn't surprised because at first I thought, oh, that's Fox, so of course it is. But no, Star Wars is Disney
I,
now.
I think it probably has something to do with that though. Like Star Wars connection
Well,
with Fox, like it wasn't a hard pitch.
yeah, but I mean, it's also Captain America is also going to be on Star Wars, and it makes sense for a big winter tentpole to put
Mm-hmm.
a summer tentpole trailer uh, attached to like whatever movie that's going to be.
I'm
That
pretty
it's
sure
not
there's
like
gonna be a
this is
Batman.
news, but yeah, I mean, everything that's going to be big for next year is going to get a spot in front of Star Wars.
I,
That's a given.
I wish we could see a Deadpool one, but since that's R rated, that's not gonna happen unless they have
Yeah.
a green bar, a green band.
No, what I mean, what's Fox putting out this Christmas? Like,
I can't remember.
I don't know, aside from Alvin and the Chipmunks,
Yeah,
whatever it is that's rating appropriate. The Revenant, maybe. I don't know. They might have it on there.
I can't see the Revenant having a trailer before Star Wars though. I think it's kind of restricted to blockbusters.
No, no, no. I mean for Deadpool.
Oh, for Deadpool, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, plus, the Revenant, it's coming out very, very soon. Why would they waste that kind of advertising space on Star Wars?
Get as much money as you can, maybe.
Yeah.
Something funny that happened this week. Apparently, Sony was still producing Betamax tapes up until a couple of days ago when they announced that they're going to stop production next year. So
Okay.
it was a format that lasted 40 years despite losing against VHS.
What were they producing tapes for?
Apparently, people in Southeast Asia and Japan still use Betamax. Like you
Okay.
could go to Japanese Amazon and order them. Maybe Quentin Tarantino's
You know what? Yeah,
ordering
that
them. Who
actually
knows?
that does make sense. I keep forgetting that not every country in the world has an HD TV at this point.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like, okay, look, you use
It's
VHS,
things like
right?
that though.
If you lived in Japan where Sony pushed Betamax so hard, like it almost was the winner there. Or like in Korea, I'm guessing like because Sony its arm was in there and Panasonic and JVC who made VHS and then Sony eventually once they lost the race, it just made sense. Like I went to a flea sale a couple weeks ago, flea market, and I saw HD DVDs. I'm sure there's someone with the HD DVD player. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but someone has one. And they probably watch stuff like King Kong on it.
Yeah, no, I mean they don't even have that much content on there
That's
anymore.
horrible.
I
It was
mean,
like just Warner Brothers, and I wanna
and Universal,
was it? Yeah, it was Universal Warner Brothers. That was it because it was
like
like
those
The
are the
Matrix,
only
the Lord of the Rings movies, Harry
yeah.
Potter, King Kong.
No, those are the only HD DVDs that I pretty much have.
Oh, you have some.
Yeah, no, I do. I got it logged on my collection. Let me see. I have V for Vendetta,
The Departed.
300. I love V for Vendetta. Um, King Kong, Transformers, and let's see. Oh, there's Mallrats. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That was before it hit Blu-ray, and District
Yeah, I
B13.
remember there was like a period where Warner, like, they didn't even announce when they were gonna make DVD or Blu-ray copies. It was just the HD DVD that was coming release, and at that point, they didn't even have all of them have the separate disc for regular DVD players. Whatever, it's technology. Um,
Yeah, it's dead.
yeah, it's sort of.
I
I
mean,
mean,
like there's still people that go to flea markets and stuff, and they like collecting
it's
old things
because.
like that. Like I hold on to them, but I
Uh,
don't seek out new stuff. It's like whenever we bring up VHS here, it's like, yeah, I have a VCR in my room, but I don't think I've bought a tape in like 10 years. So
that's what's funny about a format like that that's dead though. Like not VHS because that's such an extensive library, but HD DVD or Betamax or Laserdisc for that matter, you could potentially get every single copy, every title, and have a complete library. I know there's people online that do that, especially for like vintage video games. Just like if you have some weird proprietary format like that, uh, not proprietary, but they were supposed to be coming out around this time of the year. They're getting pushed. Sony's 4K Blu-ray discs, yeah, they're gonna be late. They're gonna be arriving sometime next year, probably quarter one, possibly quarter two. Um, and once again, it's not the greatest titles like everyone online's been saying. It's Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Chappie and a couple other things, probably
yeah, it's all
Skyfall.
the new
Yeah, the
stuff.
newer things, because it
Like
makes sense that they already have the 4K versions for that anyway, since they had the 4K copies made for the digital projection systems. I'm
what's
sure.
funny though,
Mm-hmm.
what's funny is like for some of the new mastered and 4K Blu-rays that they've been putting out just in 1080p, they got a new remastered version of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and also for the Fifth Element, and they've also got a new remastered Atmos mix on there. And those transfers, those reviews are coming in now, and they look fucking amazing.
Just wait,
Apparently, yeah, and they're already people are complaining already. But why isn't this in the first wave of 4K titles being announced?
because you can get
You
more money
already,
easier.
yeah, probably,
Probably. I mean, I
but
I just have to imagine like it was probably a plant processing thing. Like they couldn't get it ready in time. I don't. Who knows? If they hadn't done the 4K remasters to begin with, they would probably already have them. But part of the process of making the 4K Blu-ray is having to make the remasters to begin with.
well, we know that they have the 4K scan
Yeah,
already,
like a
so
digital
it just you got to
intermediate
put it
is
out.
is
That's
usually
it.
4K anyway. So just don't
Are
throw
they
away your
still?
files.
Are they all 4K now? Is that a standard
I think
thing?
it's a standard. Yeah, it can be 2K, but most DIs are 4K or 8K.
Most of them are put out in 2K though, at least
Yeah.
theatrically,
Yeah, I mean,
which
I
yeah,
doubt that's gonna stay happening,
that
especially
needs to fucking change.
when
Like,
four since 4K is becoming the main thing now, or it's gonna be there in a couple years. It wouldn't make sense to go to a theater and have a worse projection than you can get a copy at home for.
I mean, most of them are 2K, which is a bummer. Like, it's I don't see every time I know if I'm seeing a movie in 4K, they have the friggin' logo in front of it, and I know what theater specifically I need to track down for that just to get decent presentation. But I still hate that even seeing a movie on a 4K projector, I know that it's being upscaled through that because I know that the DI was done in 2K. Either if it's because it was shot on the Alexa, which doesn't even output to 4K.
Hmm.
The new one is 6K, but yeah, I mean it's technology sucks.
Yeah. Moving into something
Yeah, sorry
interesting.
for ranting.
No, no, I like it.
um,
Netflix, who has that new Jessica Jones show coming out next Friday. They have a true crime docu series
is
that's
that
just
not out
announced.
already?
No, no, no. It's coming out the 20th. They have a true crime docu series coming December 18th called Making a Murderer. They made a big move this week. They're teaming with Brad Pitt's Plan B to fund Bong Joon Ho's next movie called Okra or Akra. It's gonna have a $50 million budget, or at least that's what they're chipping in with Brad Pitt. And it stars Jake Gyllenhaal, so I'm assuming it's gonna be another English language movie like
Hmm.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
That's big. I don't know if they're gonna get the distribution rights. That could potentially happen.
Well, I think
But
that's
just
probably why they're putting money up for it.
probably to get like they're gonna have a better chance probably when it comes to the auction block if it even goes that far. I'm sure they're waiting to watch what it looks like. But Amazon, Netflix, they're only attracting, or not attracting, but going after big name directors. Amazon obviously has Chirac in a couple of weeks, the Woody Allen TV project that no one's heard anything about since it was announced a year ago.
These
Um,
are specifically though big name directors that are
yeah,
not
that's
like tentpole big, but that are critically they're
yeah.
big.
I mean, they could get to tentpole big eventually. Like I could see something like Michael Bay, uh, like not
That
him
would be insane.
specifically, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's like Bong Joon-ho. They have Snowpiercer on Netflix right now,
they
so they
should.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, they know exactly. I'm sure that that's part of the decision is that they're seeing what the numbers are from
yeah.
that, and
Well,
they
I mean,
know
they have
that.
the host too. That's even more closely tied to this. So
Yeah, I mean, and they know exactly who the fans of the director are based on tastes and algorithms and whatnot that they have on there. I don't know how they get their information. They haven't really been open about that process, but
mhm.
I mean, I'm excited about that. Even though I'm still of two minds on the whole distribution model thing, because I'm pretty sure that that's going to be part of the deal. Is Netflix is going to do a day and date thing.
Maybe. I mean, they've haven't even entered production yet. I don't believe so.
But they got the money to do it,
Yeah.
and
Something to note too. Bong Joon Ho, Snowpiercer is being adapted to the small screen now, which I think would actually make a really good TV show
I could see
because it
that.
could be like an episode per train car,
Well,
and
I mean, that would be
maybe
more of a mini series then, wouldn't it?
yeah. But I mean, you could make it really strong. It matters how long they're trying to make the show run. Because it could definitely be good for one, possibly two seasons, but like three would probably get boring. Like in the middle of the second season, they'd introduce another train that was on the rails
Yeah,
driving
of
right towards
course they
them.
would do that. Of course
Right?
they
Like they
well,
would
or on the
they would
same
have to do
track and it's
that.
just like a day behind or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like,
And
yeah,
like
that's if it was a hit. Then
they
of
start
course that's
communicating it with it, but it would
there's more
probably
of them out there.
yeah, the whole season is leading up to like the
Yeah.
front of the car, the conductor.
I
Um
mean, I love the movie, so I don't need the show, but it's not a bad
I'd
idea.
probably I'd probably check it out depending on who's involved,
Mhm.
who's starring, stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's interesting content. I just hope it's not AMC.
there are good adaptations or TV show
Like
adaptations of movies, which
Limitless.
I'll get to that later, actually.
um something I'm sure you probably saw this, the latest Shia LaBeouf art piece on the internet. Uh yeah, did you I actually watched probably like 10 minutes of it.
I tuned in at points because I was bored,
Right?
and you know what? I mean, I was actually kind of curious just to think, is he gonna have this straight face the whole time? But then at one point, I just popped up and I can't remember what movie it was. I just saw that there was laughter in the audience and he was laughing too. So I thought, okay, that's a good thing at least,
I
At least it shows that he's still human and not too fucking weird.
yeah, I caught him during Surf's Up and he was sleeping. But yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about right now, on Tuesday he started live streaming himself in a movie theater, watching all of his movies in reverse chronological order without breaks. No food breaks, no bathroom break. Well, I mean, he did go up, just get up and go to the bathroom and come back and stuff. But it was part of a digital art exhibit. What was the website? It was like newhive.com/watch my movies or all my movies, I believe.
I
And
think so, yeah.
the way it worked, I think it was like on the Lower East Side in Manhattan. You
That
could
was at
just
the Angelica Theater.
yeah, and you could just walk in and it was free, and you could sit behind them and make funny faces at the camera, and like at the end of the day, it was free movies. You could have seen, the Transformers, well, not trilogy, but the first three Transformers movies and the bad Indiana Jones one. Like there were, some good movies in there. Eagle Eye, Disturbia. Greatest game ever played, which is like really underrated and probably no one's seen it. It's about golf in Ireland, or I think maybe it's Scotland. It's a Disney movie. It was like right after Even Stevens they gave him that
Hmm.
movie.
Yeah.
But thought it
You
was
know
kind of
what? I
cool.
gotta say, like, if this is supposed to be performance art, which I'm
It
sure it
is.
is, like, I did have the thought, like, while I was looking at it, like, okay, obviously, it made me feel very, very much like a voyeur, and I hated
Uh,
that. But I also, just looking at it, I was, and seeing the people in the background, it's like, it's interesting seeing how people react to watching a movie on the big screen, and like, there's like moments where you see their heads bobbing at the same time, and everyone's eyes just kind of focus at the same spots. I was kind of a weirdly interesting thing to look at.
I heard that like some people would come in and wave at him and he'd be like, "Hey," like he wasn't being a dick.
I think
Probably
some
because he
guy,
knew there was a camera in front of him.
yeah, I think some guy passed a joint to him,
Really?
or he passed one back. Like I saw a GIF of it though, or GIF, whatever the fuck however you pronounce it.
I say GIF, but whatever. It's the internet. Like I've heard people say it's GIF. I'm like, no, that's the peanut butter. There's clearly a J, but yeah, the creator says it's GIF, which doesn't really make sense.
It's one of those things that the internet will never agree upon.
Yeah. Uh, I got a couple more things here before we get into director news. Universal's announced that Fifty Shades of Grey is, or not Fifty Shades of Grey, but the 50 Shades series is shooting back to back for the next two sequels with James Foley directing. So they're really getting this happen. I'm guessing they're gonna do the same thing. The next one, is it coming out this February?
No, I don't think they have shot anything yet.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
I'm.
no, the
It's
drama
probably
behind that.
February. It's probably 2017. Then the one after that.
Yeah, it's you know what the drama is behind that, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
wanted the first director, but then there was like writer troubles, and then the original writer came on board, and like the actual like E.B. James or whatever her name is, and she wasn't satisfied, and then she was mad, and then she wanted to write it, and then her husband was involved, and like a whole bunch of shit.
Like I literally don't know anything about this series, so I really don't give a shit. I'm at the point where watching stupid stuff just for the hell of it, it's just I realize, you know what? I don't need this one in my life. It'll just
Well,
go
I
when it's
mean,
done.
I did make you watch Kingpin this week, so
Are you gonna do that?
I'm just saying that is pretty
You
stupid
want to
shit.
do that?
That's just as bad as 50 Shades.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Um, this is pretty big news. Well, not even news, but just financial reporting here. Black Ops 3 made $550 million in its first 3 days, Activision's reported. So it's obviously made more than that because it's been out for 2 weeks now. Plus, Black Friday is not even here yet. Christmas isn't here yet. They announced that it was like the biggest entertainment opening of the year. And then Bethesda followed up with Fallout 4. They
Yeah,
reported $750 million, which I call bullshit on. That seems like a lot of money for a solely single player
I
experience.
was about to bring that up because Black Ops. I heard nothing about. I didn't even know it was out, and I don't really follow the video
Uh,
game scene that closely. But Fallout 4, everyone on Twitter's just gone nuts over it. So I was about to say, hey, what about Fallout? I'm guessing that's way bigger, but
it's different. I can't really get into those games. It's very sandboxy. You can play the whole game without weapons and just punch people to death. Um, So I mean, if you're really into story driven like 80-hour gameplay, then yeah. But I have a little bit more. I would like to think of a life than that.
I tried playing New Vegas, and
Uh,
I just couldn't stand walking around the
right?
desert for an hour. Like,
It's
yeah, I
fucking
mean,
boring. It's like, oh, I got a dog. That's cool.
yeah, that's one of the reasons where I'm just kind of like, God damn it, why am I not into video games anymore? Oh, right, because I'm doing mundane shit behind a screen. Like, I don't know. I got to find the good ones.
It's not just I don't know. It's not the good ones. Like I when I'm playing Black Ops, I'm playing with friends. Like I was playing with two friends from high school today. Like I play with a couple people I've met on the internet, and so it like
Yeah,
playing.
social gaming. Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
get that, of
social. It's not
course.
just
Yeah.
social. It's just like playing, trying to actually come up with strategy on a microphone for a game that's about that kind of thing. But yeah, it's definitely you got to find the game. You have to find something that works for you. Like I would probably really love playing like Trivial Pursuit on my phone, but that doesn't exist. It's like oh, I can just play Words with Friends. Um, so two things here before a couple of animation news. Start getting into movie specific stuff there. Paramount Animation has announced its slate of movies, which includes The Little Prince opening March 18th. That's probably the big one. They also have a third SpongeBob SquarePants movie like a year or two down the line and
Of
stuff like
course.
that. But Little Prince is probably gonna do pretty well, even if it doesn't make a lot of money, just because
Yeah.
that's a like darling in the literary world should do well. I've seen some stills. It looks really nice. Universal also they announced something. They have an animated movie with Matthew McConaughey coming out called Sing. It's gonna be next Christmas. It's
Is
about
that Illumination Entertainment?
yeah. It's gonna be him. He's a koala and he's hosting a song competition, and it has like Reese Witherspoon in it and a couple other people. But animals doing human things. It's I think it's like 3 months after The Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah.
So
I don't care about Illumination Entertainment. I mean, you've seen that trailer too, right?
The animals one? Which one? Or the Secret
The
Life of
Secret Life of
Pets?
Pets.
It looks okay. It looks like it's for
Yeah,
the kids.
yeah, it is for really little kids, but it's such a drag every time it comes on, and then you listen to little kids just laughing and
It's like I
giggling the
think
whole time, and I'm just
the
like, oh,
trailer's
shut
funny
up.
because System of a Down's in it.
Okay, yeah, that.
It's like they're advertising this at kids. I'm pretty sure that movie's not gonna be anything like that trailer either.
Well, I hope not, but I'm really
But,
not
like, don't you remember
interested in it.
Cats and Dogs? They made two of those. It can't be
Oh
worse than
my
that, right?
God.
I saw the first
I
one in
remember liking
theaters.
Cats and Dogs
Well,
actually. Yeah,
yeah,
I
of
did
course
see
you
the
liked
first
Cats
one
and
in
Dogs. You
theaters.
would have liked this movie too. So, last animation news here. Lego Batman's latest cast member, but that's a drum roll. It's Mariah Carey as the mayor, which is really
Hmm.
bizarre.
You
The
know,
first like the when the it leaked, people thought originally
uh-huh.
she was Commissioner Gordon, and then they're like, no, no, we got our facts right. It's gonna be the mayor,
All right.
which could be a central character if they do it like
Yeah.
the Adam West show, where the mayor and Commissioner Gordon are hanging out and they like call the phone and all that, which they might do.
I mean, yeah, I can't complain because it's a voice role and
Uh huh.
it should probably work. It should probably still be funny. It's just, yeah, that's not a name that you would think
Yeah,
of right away, though.
it's like maybe Nick Cannon will give her some advice in the comedy department. Who knows?
I don't know. That should be interesting, though.
It can't be bad. Well, it can't be
No.
bad. It could be so bad that it's great. It's probably what it
I
is.
mean, there has to be some joke in there somewhere. You got to give her lines that are funny. You
Or
can't just
like
have her say,
have her sing to a crowd instead of like giving a speech.
maybe it's just a nothing role and they need someone to say like two things and that's it.
They wanted a really really big star.
Yeah, and then just once it's over, people will see the movie. It's like, oh, that was Mariah Carey. Oh, whatever. All right.
Okay, so some director stuff here. It looks like Neil Blomkamp is staying at Fox. He's gonna write and direct a time travel adaptation called The Gone World. So that's cool. Like maybe when he's
Yeah,
done with this, there'll be time for Prometheus 2 to come out, so then he can actually work on Alien.
and I'm just glad that he can do original stuff still at the level that he's doing them.
Well,
I mean,
it's
that's
an
insane.
adaptation, but
Or okay, well, not established franchise stuff.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
I like Chappie.
I know. Yeah, I respect
That shit was
what
funny.
he did, what he tried to do anyway. Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike Chappie. I'm just kind of indifferent towards it, I guess.
It's like I said during my like mini review of it. Any movie where a robot uses a stack of PS4s as a supercomputer got my vote of confidence. Other directors making moves. Brian De Palma, he's gonna direct something called Lights Out for China. It's about a blind woman who uses her other heightened senses to defend herself against a group of assassins.
And did you say he's directing that for China?
Yeah, for one of those Chinese production companies, which means it's China as a country. It's like the Chinese media group.
He's been very low, I guess, on in the directing sphere or whatever you want to call it
Well, I
lately.
mean, all those guys have like look at Francis Ford Coppola. He tried a couple
Yeah,
things like Twixt and what was the other one, Youth Without Youth, and no one liked it. So
he's still doing his own stuff, I think.
yeah, I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
see any of those movies, and I'm not the biggest fan of him to begin with, but it seemed like the critical world was really almost opposed to him even making anything anymore. It's like it's not Godfather, just
I don't
stop.
know. I respect the guy honestly for doing experimental stuff. He peaked so early that
Hmm.
it's just okay. It's kind of cool. He's like, okay, I don't have to try and make Apocalypse Now again. That fucked up my life for me and a lot of other people. I should just try doing my own thing, and he's kind of doing that. That's what I want to see George Lucas do. Honestly, when he says he's gonna make his own
If
little
he
hobby
actually makes a
films.
movie, I that would be.
Yeah,
I love American Graffiti,
like
so
I also really like THX 1138. Like I
still
want to
haven't
see
seen
more
it.
stuff like that. Honestly,
Like American Graffiti is like the perfect predecessor, like precursor for American Pie almost.
no,
It's like
definitely. I mean,
it did
and
what
Dazed and
it
Confused.
yeah, Days Confused, just the ride
Yeah.
around town, hang out with your friends in high school doing stupid shit movie. Like
Yeah.
before those existed, before Porky's existed. Um who else we got here? Lee Daniels. He's directing the Richard Pryor biopic for the Weinstein brothers. Mike Epps is going to star, and it was announced this week that Tracy Morgan is going to play the role of Red Fox, most famously known for
Good.
being on, Sanford and Son.
Good. I want to see him back on screen.
Yeah,
I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad he recovered because
yeah.
that's
It was a year ago now since the
yeah. I
crash.
mean, head injuries like really suck, and
He,
I know this.
I know
So
he did SNL. I didn't watch it. But everything's good. That's great. I mean, he was
yeah.
hilarious in Top Five, which is on Amazon Prime, I think, next week. I might have to rewatch it. We got one last director here, Judy Greer. Yeah, that's right, Judy Greer. She's making her directorial debut for the Whites Brothers. It's a dramedy called A Happening of Monumental Proportions. It was a Sundance Writing Room finalist. It's going to be starring Common and Allison Janney. That's all I got. Pretty interesting, especially since she was in 3 blockbusters this year for like less than 20 minutes of combined screen time.
She's barely in anything for that long to begin
Yeah,
with.
like she was
Yeah, I
in.
mean,
Well, yeah, well, let's not.
oh, she is a character actor though.
Yeah, I mean,
I
she's
think that's yeah.
mostly known for Arrested Development and maybe 13 going on 30. But she was in
Archer.
Archer, yeah. She
Yeah.
was in Jurassic World, Tomorrowland, and Ant Man,
Hmm.
playing like the same exact role, like someone's mom that
Yeah,
gets
she's
no screen
also
time.
no, she was also in Planet of the Apes, right?
Was she?
Yeah, she's one of the apes.
Oh, I didn't know
No, yeah, she's Caesar's mate. You
that.
wouldn't be able to tell, but I think
Yeah,
that's her. Yeah, she's coming back for that too.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever mentioned on the show, but since we're going to be talking about him in a couple of minutes here, Woody Harrelson, he's the bad guy, the bad human in the next
Yes.
one.
I really want to see that.
That's going to be so badass.
Yeah.
So
Just
happy.
everything about where that series is going, like I'm a fan of.
The worst
Like
thing
it's in good
about that,
hands.
though, yeah, but that's what's sad. This is the prequel series to a reboot to a long series, and the fact that this is not only making money but is actually good is telling Hollywood, go ahead and do these stupid ideas with the reboots because it works eventually.
Well, no, I think, of course, Hollywood's going to see it that way. Like, the thing is, with everything, if it's good, people will see it.
Yeah.
Like, that's really all that matters. But
Well,
it's not
not
just
Steve
about,
Jobs apparently.
it's not just about franchises and stuff, though. You have The Martian, which is doing killer business, and that's
Well, that
not,
was a huge book to begin with,
yeah,
though.
that's a book. But,
Huge
okay,
book.
no one is going to complain about adaptations of books because film has always done that. So, I mean, it's about taking something that people are not necessarily familiar with already. It doesn't have to be an established franchise. Doesn't have to be anything with superheroes or fast cars or robots or shit like that. It's just okay. You can take something like The Martian and do it on a scale that's big, and audiences will go out and see it.
Did you see that The Martian's nominated for Best Comedy Musical at the Golden Globes?
I know people are complaining about that, and then I thought about it, and
He
yeah,
signs the shit out of that nomination.
sure. I mean, the Golden Globes are a joke anyway.
I disagree. Like they used to be, but the Oscars seem like more of the joke now because at least the Golden Globes, Hollywood Foreign Press Association, is taking chances. Giving a transgender show awards and giving Amazon an award and Netflix and
And giving Boyhood recognition. Like last year was
exactly,
a
yeah.
big year, but that's one year so far, and
It could have
I
been the
mean,
tide. It
it
could have
doesn't,
changed it.
it's not really,
At least they have a separate nomination for comedies and musicals.
yeah, but I mean, it's not like the stuff that's being recognized is not of quality, Although I guess there might be some things under
They,
the comedy and musical thing that
yeah.
are a joke from time to time.
Well, I mean, like The Hangover was nominated each year, and I think for Getting Sarah Marshall.
Wasn't The Tourist nominated one year?
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
like the bad sign.
yeah.
But I mean that was. Let's be honest here. We got foreign critics, and they just wanted to see Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie in the building.
Oh yeah, no, it is all about star appeal.
Like
Like it
so,
is very, very superficial. You don't see any technical awards at the Golden Globes.
yeah.
I mean, is there even a screenwriting award?
Yeah. There definitely is for both. I believe there might. I don't think it's just one. I think it might be for best musical and for best drama.
Hmm.
It's just the Oscars for some damn reason. The idea that the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences is the group that votes on it themselves, even though most of the people haven't been making movies for like over 30 years anyway that are part of the Academy.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no, we
they
all
just get
know
the
this. That
recognition for some. I mean, good on them for giving Spike Lee the Lifetime Achievement Award or whatever for Do the Right Thing a couple of days ago at the Governor's Awards, which will be seen footage of during the Academy whenever they do it. It's probably gonna be like what, January 28th, February 10th, something like that. Um, Star power here. Schwarzenegger, he has a star called 478. It's a revenge thriller about his family dying mid-air. Spooky, spooky. It's produced by Aronofsky. It sold its international rights this week everywhere. Made a ton of money already. I know very little about it. I don't know who's directing it, but hopefully that this is his one that makes him established again, and not the oh look he's the Terminator again type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of getting him with the right people and the right roles. And honestly, if he's with something that Aronofsky's directing, then
Producing.
well, yeah, but if he's directing, that's the
I
if.
can't see them teaming.
I would love to see that happen. If he can team up with Russell Crowe, then of course he can do it. I mean, it's and
I heard.
Aronofsky doesn't work with the same people all the time. It's usually someone different.
I'm saying,
Um,
like, I don't know. It depends. We don't even know what he's doing next. Who knows what he's doing?
yeah,
So
but I mean, anything he does, I look forward to. I mean, the guy's
yeah,
he's a fucking great filmmaker, and it's always going to be interesting, no matter what.
some TV stuff here. George Romero made a comic book called Empire of the Dead for Marvel, and it's possibly being picked up by AMC. Surprise, surprise. So they could now, if this actually happens, have three zombie shows on air at the same time. Wouldn't that be fucking cool?
Would it?
Yay. No, that's like
No.
very sarcastic there.
Well, but what if it's good?
I don't care if it's good. I'm not gonna watch it
Yeah,
anyway.
you're just getting tired of the zombie craze.
It's not even that. Like, I just don't. I don't watch AMC programming. I'm not a fan.
So that's where your bias for Preacher comes in.
Well, that. Yeah, I mean the trailer. If you heard 2 weeks ago on our episode, like
Yeah,
I
it was
just
all
did.
right. Like,
I did not like the way the trailer worked. The worst thing about that is that Garth Ennis, the creator, came out a couple of days ago. I was like, "Oh, I liked it," or something. I didn't actually look at the real comment.
well, I think he saw the pilot already too, and that's what he was saying.
Oh, well, that'd be easier to approve of.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He could be going the James Cameron Terminator route,
Yeah,
or
this is the best
eh,
Terminator since Terminator 2.
then again, I don't question how whether or not he genuinely believes that. For Cameron, I believe him
Oh,
when
I
he's saying
believe
it
that.
that he really, really thinks
I thought
that.
so too.
He didn't have to get paid for that. Yeah, and I can, I could see that movie as sort of a compliment to something that you created. Like, yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. But the pilot's coming out what in like 3 months or so now.
I don't know. I don't think they actually have a
Like,
date. I'm sure it'll leak online any day now.
I mean, I want to see it. I hope it's good. From what I'm hearing behind the scenes, people are really happy with it. So here's hoping. Fingers crossed.
Sure.
Yeah, I know you're very cynical towards it.
I got no belief in the anti-religious. Well, it's not anti-religious, but religious criticism that Preacher has in store that was a totally ignored. Okay, on that opening trailer. Still TV here. Steve Nash, the most famous Canadian basketball player of all time, is making a basketball drama for Canada. So that could be good. I guess it's like Degrassi, but only basketball. Not even sure it's gonna make it stateside.
No, yeah, I didn't even know that Steve Nash was
Yeah,
Canadian. Honestly, that's news to
he's
me now.
the Canadian basketball like advisor or something. He has an actual title like for Canadian sports or athleticism, like in the Olympics and stuff. Like I think the last time they did it, he got to do the torch or something. I got one last thing for TV. It's not exactly TV per se, but it is. Lionsgate is making a 1 hour drama with Stephanie Meyer for Hulu. If you don't know that name, that's the Twilight author.
Yay!
Yay. I'm sure that's going to get them a lot of subscribers. My question is would that content be accessible to all Hulu people or just Hulu Plus? Probably Plus only, right? Because they have to get money somehow.
Yeah,
So some tech stuff here. This one's really big. T-Mobile at their Uncarrier 10 event this week announced a new service they have called Binge On. It's a plan that doesn't count video streaming on your data allotment. The catch is that it doesn't include YouTube and you're limited to 480p, but like Netflix, HBO Go, Amazon Instant Video, porn, it doesn't affect your data numbers. And this is like coming off of something they announced last year, maybe it was 2 years ago now. It was called like Play On, where you could stream music without affecting your data. So I don't know what their next step is, but this is gonna scare like carriers into basically having to give you unlimited because it's just them and Sprint right now.
I mean, I don't know what to say other than I'm kind of more creeped out that this is even being offered as an option, and you know that people are going to go ahead and use that.
I mean, I don't think it's. Think about how like minutes used to be free after 8 p.m. This is kind of the equivalent of that. That's why it's 480 only. You know, it's not full 1080p.
Yeah, I don't mean to get, and I don't want to get into like too deep of a conversation. It's just, ah, I don't know. Maybe it's paranoia, but it seems like God, they're really, really trying to get us to watch all this shit and consume all this shit on our phones more and more and more. Out of the hours of the day, and I'm just kind of like, ah,
I mean, it's like I said about Jon Stewart last week for HBO Go. If you, like now, say you were on the subway going to work and you're watching the Jon
yeah,
Stewart show, you don't have to worry about eating through 100 megabytes or whatever, and then you're only on a 1 gig plan. It's gonna attract a lot of people to switch over. The catch is that if you weren't already a member, it's like they change their fees, but otherwise you're grandfathered in, so it doesn't affect someone like me that already has their service. But I don't know, pretty cool advances in cellular technology.
yeah. I mean, it's amazing how much more of this stuff is being given to us for free now,
Yeah.
just as part of these plans.
Um, Something cool. This was TV too, but I thought it was more tech related. The next season of The Amazing Race on CBS is going to consist like of only digital stars. So like Instagram,
It's like YouTube and Vine
YouTube, Vine
stars.
stars, exactly. Yeah, which is kind of cool. Like that. That's already that makes sure that you have an audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's some kind of stipulation with their release forms, but they could potentially be, if not tweeting the episodes when they're happening, definitely be live tweeting them or whatever they're doing. So it's like digital cross promotion or cross
They
pollination.
should probably start like an Amazing Race 24-hour network or something.
Maybe. I mean, that they
Like,
used to
yeah,
do that for Big Brother. Like they had the regular show on primetime, and then on Stars, since CBS is owned by owns Showtime, or not Stars. I mean Showtime. They would have Big Brother After Dark, which was like the quote unquote stuff that was too racy for TV, and you were like expecting sex, but it was still blurred. But it was like curse words weren't or something stupid. I never watched it, but I knew it was because I was like, "What the hell is this?" I think they still do that too, or there might be like a 24-hour Big Brother website.
I feel like that's something that they probably should do, especially with big social media stars like that,
Hmm.
because you know that they're gonna tweet about it like as it's happening.
Yeah, like I said, there's
Yeah,
probably some kind of
the days of the Truman
restriction.
Show are coming about.
The Truman Show thing already happened though. Like there was a guy that was televised, I think, like 24 hours for a couple of weeks. Like it was a game show. I can't remember what Asian country it was. It might have been Japan, and like you got paid money for just being constantly on TV in your apartment. You couldn't leave. Really trippy. Um, so two more TV things here, and then we're done with news. PlayStation View, Sony's over the internet television provider. It's now coming to Amazon Fire TV and Fire Sticks, as well as Google Chromecast devices. So now it's those plus PlayStation. I think some Sony Bravia TVs can do it as well, and I'm sure it's just going to keep moving and moving with mobile apps and more integrated TV stuff. Like Sony Blu-ray players. So they
And how much content do they even have at this
a
point?
lot. Like last week, we talked about them getting Disney and ESPN. They have like all the other networks besides Warner Brothers. I don't believe they have the CW. But they have like Comedy Central and MTV and Showtime, and a couple other things. It's pretty. The pricing's kind of steep, especially compared to Dish Network's Sling service. But the catch is that like that's only you can only watch that on Xbox and a couple other things. Um, so like the thing here is that it's titled PlayStation View for a reason. It's they're trying to attract PlayStation customers, and so if you already have the device, you're likely to use it, etc., etc. But they do have a lot of content, and I'm sure they're going to be making waves and getting more.
I mean, is Power still their only original thing right now,
Yeah,
or
but that wasn't
that's
that.
really the big one?
Yeah, that wasn't through PlayStation View. Anyone could, if you were a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you could watch that, and they also did week to week episodes. And then at the end, once it was finished, it was like anyone can watch it now. And I'm sure you can watch it on YouTube. Um, but yeah, that's their only original programming so far. They have a second season coming up, and I watched it. It wasn't bad. Charlotte Copley was pretty good on it. Eddie Izzard was pretty good. Morel,
Charlton Copley go over the top?
no, no,
No?
no.
Oh fuck, I'm not
And
watching
he
it
he
then.
did like an Americanized accent.
Oh god damn it, I'm definitely not watching it. No, hey, I mean, a lot of people think that guy hams it up way too
I
much,
like it.
but I love it when he goes ape shit.
Perfect as
Like that
Chappie.
Old Boy and Elysium, like it was so much fun.
Chappie.
That too.
I can't.
No, he's good in
He's
Chappie, man.
so good in
Like,
Chappie.
yeah.
Final thing I got here, very related to what I just talked about. Disney is making original content for their Watch ABC app. Yay! So what they decided to do here was instead of making a new thing like CBS did with their Star Trek service, basically it's called All Access, but that didn't exist. They already have Watch ABC where you can watch like tidbits and watch episodes. Since they already know and people have that, instead of making a new service, they're just gonna put it on there. So I guess that's smart. I don't know, but pretty cool. I mean, that's already proof that eventually, they're going to cut out the middleman and probably sever their ties with Netflix down the line. Or at least this is probably their test of it.
Yeah. I mean, Netflix is so big right now. Now everyone's trying to build their own thing.
Hmm. I mean, they gave them the four shows plus the not Avengers, what they call it, the Defenders. So
Well, is for the Marvel stuff, is that Disney produced or does
it
Netflix is
it's
Netflix only doing a
it's
distribution deal with that?
It's both. It's Disney produced, like Kevin Feige is still involved, and I think it's ABC Studios. But Netflix obviously has they can say some things, and they probably can go over notes and pointers.
And it's
Uh,
basically
but it's mostly
like
just a
what Paramount
distribution.
was before Disney took over.
Yeah, yeah. Like
All
they
right.
don't make the creative decisions, but they have some kind of input. And at the end of the day, it's on their service anyway, so they still have to deal with, you know, publicizing and stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure like the Jessica Jones trailers, Disney cuts those, but Netflix, decides how they put them out there.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for the show this week. What have you watched or listened to or
Um,
played?
Nothing. No movies this
Nothing.
week, which is, I mean, for a guy that's on a podcast, is very unprofessional, don't you
Yeah,
think?
it's like wait,
I mean,
this isn't
it's
necessarily
it's
your
like I'm not
job.
doing
It's,
my job
yeah,
at
you're
all
not
whatsoever.
paid,
Like,
but yeah.
if I were the brain trust of dollar reviews, I would fire this person for not doing all the work while they sit there and they put all the notes together for the show, decide what it is that we're going to talk about, and
Is
I would
this
be
you trying
pissed.
to
And
like make me publicly break up with you on air?
no, I mean, I was just trying to, get in the mindset of my boss here.
Uh huh.
So, I figured, well, I can't let that happen where I, don't have something to talk about. So what am I going to do? Oh, I had time Saturday morning and I just went on CBS.com and I watched the Limitless pilot. So that was
There you go.
40 minutes that I used to make up for that. But it was really good,
It was really
actually.
fucking good,
It
right?
really is. No, like
You need to watch the rest of the episodes.
I
Like the
was
show
very
gets better
surprised.
and better.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I talked about the Minority Report
No, no, I heard.
pilot.
I feel like that
Like,
pales in comparison like a
oh yeah,
mile.
no, no, absolutely. It's funny how they're both pretty similar in that
Uh huh.
it's a guy that has some sort of super abilities and is being teamed up with a female cop. And but that's about it though. The
But I mean
concept for Limitless is so much better,
the
and the guy is not
yeah,
being a fucking weirdo the whole time.
the
So
difference is it's not taking a book adapting into a movie that was really successful and then trying to steal that and not working. This is adapting a movie into something that works a lot better.
just as a self-contained pilot, like I feel that pilots in general,
It's a movie.
they
It's a
never
TV
really
movie.
they never really impress me though. It's just kind of like you watch one, it's like, all right, I'll stick with it and see where this goes, and probably by
Yeah, I'm with
episode
you.
4 or 5 I'll be in on it. This one just kind of grabs you right away. Like
Hmm.
I doubt I'll have time to follow through with the series, but once this hits Netflix, or just if I can rent the Blu-ray or something, like this is a set I would just binge on for one season. Like
I mean, I would. You don't have to watch every episode. Obviously, like it
no,
adds.
but it's a
It's
really good pilot though. I
no,
would keep going with the
it's
show.
a TV show, so not every episode's important. But the one not this past week, but the one before that, the Ferris Bueller episode was fucking cool. Like they get really whimsical. Like Mark Webb, he directed the pilot. He did another one. Uh, who did? I think someone else that was pretty big did one. Like it's a really fun show. They know what they're doing. Like and you can tell that they're enjoying making it.
I really like just yeah,
The
at first I thought
feel.
it was dumb. Just the chase scene at the beginning, like the way that starts is like, oh,
Oh, the
guys
train
standing across
track.
the street. Yeah, like right before that, I just thought it started off terribly, where it's like, oh, he's standing here, then he starts running, and oh, you got the cliche, just typical TV level type score that's very upbeat, and it's the same note over and over and over again, just to make it feel intense. And I was just groaning right away, like, come on. But then you go back to that scene later, and I was just like, oh shit, like it's actually now you know what's really going on. It's gotten really good. Like I love just the whole how that set piece happens with the train tracks. Like it was really fun.
Kind of reminded me a little bit of Superman, Lex Luthor's hideout in the first movie.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Superman, while I was on the
You
CBS
watched
page,
Supergirl, didn't you?
I saw yeah I saw the link for the pilot, and you know what? Out of curiosity, I heard the show was good,
Uh huh.
and yeah, so I decided to watch the pilot, and with the exception of a very very awful like 3 minute prologue that I
I mean, I
absolutely hated, I think it's a pretty good like show. I wouldn't me personally I wouldn't keep watching it, but it's exactly what you think it is going to
hmm
be. It's
I
very
mean,
very preppy, and she's very bubbly and all that, but it's a good version of that, and I think it for that audience that wants that, I think it's good that they can enjoy that. Just but yeah, I really hated the stuff on Krypton just because it was such really bad TV acting, and everyone's speaking in exposition. It's like, oh parents, I will make you so proud, and I will do everything that I can to protect this and like I was just like fuck you. And then there's the low rent Hans Zimmer score, and it's clearly aping all the shit from Man of Steel on Krypton, which that's a double fuck you for me because I fucking love Man of Steel, and this stuff on Krypton I think is amazing. But
I
yeah,
watched
yeah, it's a
Smallville
fine show.
for a decade of my life, so I'm kind of over the TV adventures of the House of L. Plus, Kara was a character on Smallville. I think it was like season 5 and 6. So once I knew it was hitting the air and it was gonna be on CBS and it was gonna have no ties to Gotham, The Flash, or Arrow, I was like, well, what's the fucking point of checking it out then?
Oh yeah, it's very light, and I forget what her name is.
Alan
The
McBeal, Christopher
no
Flockhart.
no the person that plays Supergirl. Like
Oh,
yeah, I mean
I don't know who
she's
she is.
really good. Like everyone's clearly having fun, so it's a good show, and I'm glad to see that it's doing well and that people are digging it. So
I'm just saying, you could have
uh,
seen 2 episodes of Limitless, but you saw 1 episode only.
well, yeah, I didn't want to get hooked. You said the
Do it.
pilot, so and I had time, so and I was curious.
Well, I
But anyway, yeah, that's all I watched. Just
could have been
as
worse.
far as other stuff, like yeah, I've been busy, I've been doing some reading, but I don't have no reason to talk about that on here. What have you been watching?
I watched a couple things. I saw 2 things that I've been meaning to for a long time. Well, like, okay, one that I've been meaning to for a long time, one that I had a general interest because of the news, and then one that was just whatever because my internet was down. So I saw Miller's Crossing, which was
Oh,
the only Coen Brothers film I hadn't seen. Uh, I still don't know what to think of it. I think I'll see it again when I'm not as tired. But I knew what I was going into. I knew it was Yojimbo. I knew it was Fistful of Dollars. I knew it was Lucky Number 11, the guy who's on both sides of the tracks working both gangsters. Um, Dialogue was great, real snappy, great acting. Fun to see their characters come, not characters, but common actors like John Turturro come back so early. There's like a building called Barden Apartment, so that was kind of cool. Um, but I don't know, like it was. I didn't think it was amazing. I know it was like their first really really like praise film because it helped them cross over from being those like low budget weird guys that made Blood Simple and transition into cultural phenomenon with like Raising Arizona and Big Lebowski. Um,
I'm kind of with you. Like it is something I need to rewatch when I'm not really really
mhm.
tired. But from what I saw of it, like I did really enjoy it, and I could it's just one of those things where you can tell like it's really what cemented the Coen Brothers style.
Yeah,
I want to say, like, or at least in the way that it's accessible.
really fast paced. There's body
Yeah,
humor, like cultural references and
yeah. I mean,
music.
I think it's the of all the early. I haven't seen Blood Simple, and
Blood Simple's really good. You should see it.
God, yeah, and
Saw it last
I
year.
think Barton Fink happened before Miller's
Yeah, Barton
Crossing,
Fink was
which
92, I believe.
yeah, which I hated Barton
Yeah, me
Fink.
too.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking I need to rewatch it. I love John Turturro. I really like John Goodman, but I didn't know what was going on. I was like, okay, he's a screenwriter. He's in this fucking building. It caught on fire. Like, what's happening? I know everyone fucking loves it. It's like, oh, like, I love movies.
See, I kind of it's a love-hate thing with the Coen brothers for me because they really love to torture their protagonists.
Mm-hmm.
And just generally, I just can't stand that, which is weird because A Serious Man is probably well, it's one of my like top three films from them, and that's all about torturing their protagonist. But yeah, it
Like,
generally is just something that they do that I most of the time I'm not on board with.
I like Oh Brother is probably their only film that I genuinely really like. I like Raising Arizona. I like the characters. I like how out there um everyone is with like the idea of stealing babies and like crawling out of prison and all that stuff. Plus Nicolas Cage is just
That's
phenomenal in
why
it.
you watch it, yeah.
Yeah, but he's so good. Like his physical humor is so good. Like peak Nicolas Cage there. But like Big Lebowski, like the movie is revered, right? And it has these great lines and really funny performances. But like the movie as a whole, like it's such a trip that it's hard to really say you're a fan, or for me anyway, to like say I'm a fan of it. That's kind of how all their movies are for me.
With the Big Lebowski, like I think in order to really understand it, I have to see it with that crowd. You know,
Yeah.
I have to see it with that cult to really understand the cult.
I
I mean,
mean,
it's one of those things where I think the movement behind it is more interesting than the movie itself.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure watching it with the White Russian in your hand makes it a
Oh
lot
yeah,
better. Or like watching it at a bowling alley, something like that. Um, but it's such it like even in terms of like like phenomenon movies, it's such a weird one. Like I appreciate it, but like Tara Reid's in that movie,
hmm
Like,
yeah.
she is the MacGuffin.
I forget about
Anyway,
that.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I'll when I'm watching their movies again someday, I'll definitely have to rewatch that in Barton Fink. But it wasn't bad. Like I think it was amazing, but it was a good story. It was fun, even though I knew what it was. The second movie I watched this week was Roadhouse, and I saw it because of Ronda Rousey before she got her ass kicked last night, or face kicked rather.
Did you hear that there's going to be a rematch now?
There's definitely gonna anytime a big profile fight like that happens and either person wins or loses, there's gonna be a rematch.
Yeah, well, it's official. It's happening.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure I won't watch that one either. Um, but yeah, she's getting this remake eventually, whenever that is, like a year from now or something like that. So I was on my Netflix queue for a while. I kind of like Patrick Swayze, kind of dope, but I wanted to check it out. It was okay. It was very 80s, bad boy with a heart of gold, like helps turn this bad city into a good one and overcome corruption and all that shit. Except he he breaks out fights in bars and he knows karate. The best part of the movie, okay, and this is kind of a spoiler, but not really because I doubt you're ever gonna see it.
No, I will at some
Okay, well
point.
this isn't
I
really
think it's on the list of
it's
shame.
not really a spoiler, but he rips someone's throat out at one point, and I was laughing so
I don't
hard.
think you're gonna see this movie one day, Steven. What the fuck are you talking about? I want to watch this
Yeah, no,
now.
no, no, no. So this is
God.
what's crazy. Like I was laughing so hard because you've seen MacGruber, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole like throat ripper stuff that he's talking about with Val Kilmer, all that shit. Like I was like, oh, this is referencing that movie. Like I didn't understand. Like I thought that was like some fucking weird Will Forte joke. Okay, and then you're watching Roadhouse and Mr. Perfect, no one puts baby in a corner, comes over here and like literally pulls a guy's jugular out of his throat. Like it's gone. He's dead, like on the spot. Best part of the movie. Only
I
reason
have
to
to
watch
watch
it.
this now.
You have to
I have
watch
to
it
watch
just
it. Yeah.
just for that one moment. But it's kind of like watching Footloose, except there's like graphic violence. It's like the same movie though. It's like, oh,
I
this is our
have to see
town. This
this
doesn't
movie now.
happen.
I
It's-
have to see this movie.
Maybe like not
But
not
I have to see it now. I mean, that's the perfect. You got me in. Like I love Footloose, dude. I want to watch this now.
right up there. Footloose, same kind of '80s vibe going for it.
All right, yeah, no, the original Footloose. I like
Yeah,
both of
I
them,
like both.
but yeah,
I like Miles Teller in the remake, and I liked that there was actually dancing throughout the whole thing instead of just the end, and that really weird warehouse number. Um, but yeah, the final movie I watched this week was Adult Beginners, which was very missable. Nick Kroll stars in it. It's like his first starring role, and it also just happens to be like a drama. It's supposed to be a dramedy. It's like going for the whole mumblecore thing. Like it kind of reminded me of Happy Christmas, but even worse. So like mumble bore. But like it has a good cast. It has like Roast Byrne and Bobby Canalve, and I think there's like one other person in it. Oh, it's like Joel McHale, and just it's not good. The script is really generic and formulaic. There's a kid in it that's pretty good, but and like Maria from Harold Kumar's in it, so that was kind of interesting. But I don't know. I thought there was gonna be at least a couple funny moments. It was no. It's really sad because I watched his Comedy Central show, and I watched The League weekly. Well, now it's the final season. But I don't know. It didn't do it for me. It was real boring. I almost wish I hadn't seen it.
all right.
So yeah, that's
I
all I
didn't even hear
watched.
about it till you brought it up. You know what?
It was
I may
very
as well actually.
missable.
I think I just realized this now. I may as well plug this in because I mentioned that I was doing reading. I'm reading a couple things, and I just felt like skipping over it because it's not film related. But of course, one of them is I'm kind of making my way through Sick in the Head, and that's Judd Apatow's book, which is just a bunch of conversations transcribed with other comedians, and I'm pretty close to the beginning right now. But you know, from just what I read, like you know, there were I read one with Adam Sandler and one with Jim Carrey, and I'm kind of just going out of order and seeing which ones I'm interested in. But there's really just great stuff that you read that not just about like the filmmaking process or the process of
Mm.
coming up with comedy, and that, you know, that's something I personally am fascinated on. Like I really envy comedians and what they do specifically because that's I am not funny myself. Like that's something that I just can't do. So but I really, I think there's still a lot that you can get out of it if you want to get insight on just, you know, for anyone that's aspiring in any sort of artistic field whatsoever. It's, you know, it's good, good thought porn for that, if that's even an acceptable way of
Is
describing it.
is there a podcast for that, or not podcast? I mean, audiobook. No, I guess audiobook wouldn't even be the right term since it's transcribed conversation anyway.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, and
are there recordings of the conversations
the
themselves?
one, the one with Adam Sandler, it's the Charlie Rose episode. Um,
Okay.
Yes, and all it is just that's put on the page, which you know it doesn't really need to be there. It's kind of lazy that it's there, but it's still an interesting read anyway. Although you could probably watch the episode on YouTube.
Hmm.
It's different when you read it, and the information just kind of sinks in differently. So it's still interesting to look at that in that way.
In the non cinema world, I did one thing. I listened to an album a good amount that came out this week. Grimes, Art Angels. Heard it. I want to say like 3.5 times. Really interesting. Like very different from her last album. Like very accessible, weird pop music. Two tracks in particular, Kill versus Maim, which is apparently about Michael from Godfather Part 2 becoming a vampire, like, and cross-gendered or something. Like, very weird concept.
So what, a succubus?
No, just like a vamp. I don't know. It's weirdo
Hmm.
description. I wouldn't consider it that way. It's just like that's the backstory apparently. And then also the song "Venus Fly." Like both are very, 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 very catchy. Like probably gonna be on the radio or movies soon. Type catchy. But we both also watched Kingpin because I made us basically. So we're gonna be doing an episode for that in just a second. Be sure to check out that episode if you'd like to hear more of our ramblings. Of course, I'm sure you found this somewhere on the internet. Just to reiterate and say it again, you can find us online at WordPress. It's Dollar Reviews Podcast.wordpress.com. Twitter's Dollar Reviews. Facebook is also Dollar Reviews. There's a couple of ways. We'd love some feedback. We're going to keep on talking here tonight for another 30 minutes or so. So be sure to listen to that one.